everyone. With me today, I got Matt Slabosz. He is the founder of the website Zen and the Art of Trading. He also runs a YouTube channel with over 20,000, around 20,000 subscribers. And he is really prolific in pretty much everything trading view related. Matt, how are you today? Thanks for joining.
I'm great.
In this
thanks for inviting
conversation.
Me. I really
so
appreciate it.
So you're based in Australia?
Yeah, Queensland, Australia. Yeah.
Perfect. Now, the reason that I got interested in talking to you is because Global Prime is now fully integrated with TradingView. And I've actually been following you for quite some time. And I got to say that you have a very well-structured way of explaining how to use TradingView, not just for the basic student. Also, you go the extra mile in really providing some great advanced tools. And I really want to dig into it today. So
that sounds great. Yeah, thanks, mate. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So without further ado, we can really start to dig a little bit into your website. And I got really curious about why you call it Zen and the Art of Trading. What's behind? Is there a message that you want to put out there?
I don't know if it's deliberate, but I started my blog. The first thing I started was my blog and then the YouTube channel. But the blog started as just an organic thing. I didn't expect it to grow into what it is now, but I started it just to share my thoughts and experiences as a trader, going through the journey, going through the process of really struggling and then eventually finding consistent profitability. And Zen, it's a long story, but Zen, the concepts of Zen has played a major role in my life philosophy, my life experience. It's not in a religious sense, but I really find the philosophy interesting. And when I started trading, I recognized that trading was a huge test of your inner, spirit, for lack of a better word. It's incredibly challenging. And the best way to master trading is to master yourself first. And that's kind of where that came from. It's also a reminder to myself to always go easy, go with the flow. Don't beat myself up too hard and just sort of enjoy the journey. Life's a journey, trading's a journey. And that's kind of, the idea behind why I chose that. Plus the art of trading was taken. So
yeah, I actually realized that there's someone else running an art of trading YouTube channel as well. Yeah. So that might explain as well that you also refer to Zen as the art of being unstuck, correct?
Yes. That's very important in trading, I think. Yeah.
I mean,
every trade is a new trade unrelated to the previous one. So if you get stuck on losing trades or drawdowns, it can really, really hinder your progress as a trader. Speaking from experience. Yeah.
Perfect. So now that we've really set a good foundation as to why you're doing what you're doing and that inner journey that every single one of us embarks upon when we start trading and having this kind of mentality of not getting stuck, but really engaging in the flow of things one day at a time. Can you really explain to us at a personal level, why is it that you became interested in trading in the first place? What ticks for you?
That's a long story. I'll try to keep it short.
Yeah.
But I started trading in 2017. I discovered trading in 2017. And at the time, I was very depressed and miserable because I just had to drop out of university. I was studying audio engineering for a couple of years. And I was a musician. I was in a band for over 10 years. And I had to quit that and drop out of uni and leave that sort of dream, my life's work behind, because I developed an injury in my arm, a repetitive strain, kind of carpal tunnel kind of injury. And I couldn't play music anymore. And so I was really lost at that time in my life. And then one weekend, my dad, he's an auto mechanic, who runs his own business, he's not involved in the financial industry at all. He wanted to learn how to trade, and he was in the process of doing that. And he had a spare ticket to a trading seminar down in Sydney, hosted by a gentleman by the name of Courtney Smith, who's an American trader. He's been trading for 40 plus years and in hedge funds and banks and all Wall Street institutions, that sort of thing. And he invited me to tag along with him. And I thought, I had nothing better to do that weekend. I thought it'd be a good opportunity to hang out with my dad. And we don't do that too often. And I thought, was a good excuse to get out of the house and sort of pattern interrupt my sort of funky mood I was in. And so I tagged along, and I wasn't expecting to enjoy it. I had no idea what trading was. I didn't even realize retail trading was a thing. And so I went in completely blind and financially illiterate, for that matter. I was basically a broke university dropout. And but when I walked into the room, Courtney, I had this image in my head of what trading would be like, what traders would be like, and it was like the Jordan Belfort image, you know, the guy in the suit and the Wall Street type. And when I walked in, I remember Courtney was sitting there in a Hawaiian shirt with shorts on and like sandals. He was eating McDonald's at his desk, waiting for us all to come in, eating Macca's for breakfast. And I was like, wow, this is not what I expected a trader to be like. And I sort of realized I had the wrong impression of what trading was. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll give this a chance. And so I sort of sat back and watched the seminar with an open mind. And immediately I was hooked on the art and science of technical analysis. I just found it fascinating. When he began demonstrating how to break down a price chart, he was teaching the room a trend following strategy for stocks with just basic price action and basic indicators. And I was fascinated. I was hooked immediately. And so after that weekend, you know, I went away and I started learning trading myself. I ended up gravitating more towards Forex than stocks for a number of reasons. One, I found currencies more interesting and the global markets more interesting. And I also didn't have a lot of starting capital. So I needed leverage. I needed margin. And so I went through the process of blowing accounts and all of that stuff and struggling as a trader. Then eventually I found a really good trading mentor. His name's Stephen Hart. He's still a mentor to me to this day. I still chat with him regularly. And he sort of guided me towards systematic rules-based strategies in the Forex markets. And over time, I eventually found positive results through that. And about 18 months later, I became consistently profitable in late 2018. And in amongst all that time period, I've discovered crypto. And I remember I asked my parents, I can talk my parents into lending me around $3,000 to invest in crypto back in 2017. I think Bitcoin was around 3,000 US dollars. And I didn't know what crypto was going to become, but I knew it was an opportunity, a long-term opportunity. So I bought a portfolio of coins and I just let them sit there. And then, long story short, I still have a lot of those positions, and now I'm managing around $500,000 in my own capital, which from 2017, early 2017, I literally had a negative account balance. I think I've got a photo of it somewhere.
Yeah.
And so trading saved my life on multiple levels.
That's incredible.
It's amazing. I have the utmost respect for the craft, and I love it. Yeah.
A few takeaways. I suppose that the painting that you got on your back, perhaps that is inspired by that first meetup, because I can see a beach, kind of like a paradisiac kind of scenery right there. So I suppose
I like to surround myself with reminders of
so that's
to be grateful and to be
Absolutely. Yeah. Did you get fortunate enough to come across your first mentor, and up until this point that has remained the person that you kind of like follow in the steps of, or did you have to go through many people face that constant loop of jumping from mentors to mentors? What's the story like for you?
Yeah, that's a funny one too. I think I discovered Stephen Hart's work on YouTube. He was just an online trading educator. I think I discovered his stuff very early on, but because I didn't understand trading quite yet, I didn't know whether he was the right person for me, if his style was the right one for me. So I didn't go with his course or his mentorship straight away. I tried a number of different courses, different mentorship services, probably around 4 or 5 of them. And none of them quite worked. Some of them were just downright scams almost, or just terrible. Others were helpful, but not what I was looking for. And then eventually I came back around to Stephen Hart. And by then I'd gone through the process of working out what I wanted out of my trading. And I signed up to his course, and we started talking over email and stuff. And yeah, I still talk to him to this day, even though I don't require his mentorship. We still chat now and then about, because now he's a content creator, obviously, on YouTube. So now we talk about that sort of stuff. And so, yeah, I did get lucky. I also sought out mentorship very early on. I think that was a key thing, is I understood that I needed guidance. And I was humble enough to recognize that I was struggling and I wasn't going to make it alone. And I even asked my girlfriend, who I'm still with. She helps me run everything. Her boss at the time was a Forex trader. He traded automated algorithmic systems. And I emailed him and asked him for a meeting just to chat about trading. And I think that helped too. He helped tell me what to focus on, what really mattered. To focus on the core fundamentals. Don't worry about strategies and all that stuff. It's easy to find a profitable strategy. It's not easy it's not easy if you don't build the foundations first, the core foundations. So all of that helped me start on the right foot. And I still struggled for quite a while, but at least I had a clear goal. I knew what profitable trading looked like. And I just, I had to find my own way to get there, kind of thing. And yeah. So it was a journey.
Right. A couple of things that just come up is, number one, now that you manage a significant amount of capital, is your trading solely focused on Forex? Has it been a mixed bag between Forex and other assets? Where you stand?
Yes. Yeah. I trade Forex actively. I'm more of a swing trader. So 4-hour daily time frame, but that's the market I specialize in, and I trade the most in my sort of trading account. But I still am active in crypto, but that's more of an investment thing. That's, I don't day trade crypto. I just shuffle my portfolio around from time to time.
And it's actually proven to be a very successful strategy, just hodling ever since the very beginning. And that has really ballooned right into a spectacular type of sum of money that now gives you that freedom, that liberty. And talking about freedom, liberty, and how you get to split up your time during the days and your routines, you have to juggle between being both a trader and also a content creator. You're very active producing content, and I gotta say that most of this content is TradingView oriented. Now, what's your daily routine like? If you could just give us a bit of a sense.
Yeah, my daily routine isn't as structured as it should be, probably, but it works for me. But I have a rough routine. I wake up in the morning around 8 a.m. usually, give or take an hour or two, either way. I don't set alarms. I just wake up when I need to. I have that luxury because being an Australian trader and a swing trader, 4-hour time frame, the markets are quite slow in Australia in the mornings. So there's no rush for me to get to the charts to get trading. So I can take my time in the mornings. I normally wake up and then I don't check social media or any of that stuff. I keep my phone out of the room so that I can start the day with a clear mind, and try to start on the right foot. I usually exercise for at least half an hour straight up as soon as I get out of bed. I throw on some music, usually hardcore punk rock or Metallica's, that sort of music to get me amped for the day. Or a podcast or trading lesson or something that, whatever mood I'm in. After that, I have a shower, and then I try to meditate for at least 10 minutes, usually in the sun. I like to get a bit of sun in my face to sort of wake me up a bit. But not for too long, because I'm eager to start the day. After that, I have a light breakfast and coffee, and I usually write down a short list of what I need to get done that day. Like you said, with being a content creator, I need to juggle that side of things as well and be organized with that. So I write down at least 5 things I need to get done that day. And then after I've done that, that's around 10 a.m. I'll go into the office where I am now and do my top-down analysis on the markets I'm involved in, or in my portfolio, trading and investing. I start on the weekly or daily time frame and just work my way down to my trading time frame, just to stay in the loop. And then my work starts for the day, basically. And I'll around 10, I'll work from 10 till around 1 p.m. on content, backtesting new strategies, I prioritize whatever's important for that day and that week and that month. You know, I have a list of things I want to get done throughout the year or throughout the quarter or whatever on my trading and my business and content. And so I spend a few hours working on that. Then I have a lunch break for half an hour or so. And then I get back, and I either, in the afternoons, I like to either catch up on what I didn't finish in the morning, or if I did finish what I needed to get done, I'll experiment with new ideas, new strategies. Like recently, I've been working on a Discord bot, building a Discord bot in Java, which is a different language to PineScript, just to as a new challenge, something interesting, different, outside of what I would normally do.
Yeah.
Or I like gaming too. Sometimes I'll play games for an hour or two in the afternoon.
Yeah.
To sort of reset my mind, get out of the trading mindset and work mindset. And then that's pretty much my day. I spend at least 5 to 6 hours working on trading or content.
Yeah. Is your strategy fully automated these days, or you still have to babysit and kind of like monitor what's going on?
I have 3 screens here, so I usually only need 2 to work. And so the third screen usually has my charts open throughout the day. And I set alerts. That's the beauty of TradingView and PineScript, is I have anything I need to know about the markets. TradingView will alert me to it. My scripts will alert me to trading setups, trade management, cues, like things I need to do to manage positions, new trades, that sort of thing. So that keeps me on top of the markets throughout the day without needing to stare at charts too much. Yeah. So that's good.
So whenever the alert goes off, is it up to you to decide whether or not you want to be taking that position? Or will it at times enter the market automatically, or has it always have to be supervised by you first?
I'm experimenting with automation. I do have a couple of scripts running at the moment that are auto trading through PineScript and MetaTrader. We'll talk about it later, but there's an app, like a third-party service, where you can link TradingView alerts to MetaTrader.
Yeah.
So that's running for the past couple of months. I've had that running, and it seems to be profitable. It's profitable at the moment. It's up, I don't know, maybe 10% over the past couple of months, and that's fully automated through PineScript. But the majority of my trading is manual. I use discretion. I have strict rules on my trading setups, and my scripts. No script is 100% accurate at detecting certain market patterns in conjunction with certain market conditions. It's always going to give off false signals occasionally. So I do like to manually confirm the signals. And I'm not too comfortable fully automating my systems just yet, but I'm experimenting with that. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, as a trader, you always have to be very well aware of the developing and evolving market conditions, and a system that is going to be at times thriving just because the market is trending. The moment that goes into choppy mode, that is going to be absolutely annihilating the system. So you always have to understand first and foremost what I call situational awareness. And is the market directional or is not directional? Is the market volatile or is not volatile? Is it going to be fitting better a strategy that is more its purpose is mean reverting, or is it going to be more based on momentum? And all that, I find that's the most challenging part when it comes to developing an automated system, and 100%. the system really coming to grips about the type of environment that is supposed to be trading to become most profitable. It's very hard
to code that into a script. That's a problem I have. A lot of my scripts, I have strategies that do well in consolidation. I have strategies that depend on momentum and pullbacks. As far as I know, and I'd love to hear it if someone has one, but I've never heard of a strategy that works in all conditions. So it's a challenge. It is a challenge. And that's the power, I think, of semi-automation and using computers and scripts as an ally in your trading process to enhance. So almost like a what do you call it? Like the cyborg, like leveraging the power of computers and automation with the power of human discretion and intelligence and pattern recognition. It's unparalleled. The human eye for identifying. I mean, I can identify a pattern that meets my rules in a matter of seconds. Whereas to do that in code, to write a script that can do that, is, I think, may be impossible, but we'll see.
I think that machines and the interaction that we have with the machines, where they lack and where we actually exceed as humans, is that discretionary part, right? And that discretionary part, it's actually born out of a strong foundation based on the experience that you've accumulated as a trader, right? And so what people call gut feeling, at the end of the day, gut feeling is nothing more than the constant accumulation of these experiences, and you being able to tell, is the market consolidating, is it trending? And from there, and I absolutely love how you define the leveraging technology by calling it an ally. It can be an ally, but it doesn't have to be something that we fully rely on 100% of the times.
Right? I think that's dangerous at times. Yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. And as long as you can actually do the back testing and you prove through a very, a very complex suite of data that it has gone through enough stress testing to put it to work, then that is something that, as part of Global Prime and me as a head of research, we do have clients that are successfully trading these strategies as rather consistently, and they actually show the results. So
exactly, yeah. So the first guy I met, my boss's girlfriend, he's fully automated and he's profitable, and so it definitely can be done. I think the challenge is you need to respect the technology and not treat it as a crutch or treat it as a way to be lazy and not do the work, do your homework. Yeah, that's when it can be dangerous.
Yeah, I think it's very well put how you define it. Now, let's segue a little bit into TradingView. A few months ago, Global Prime announced that we are now fully integrated as a as a brokerage that you can trade off TradingView, and that obviously comes with huge advantages. As I said before, you're very prolific in developing scripts, in teaching people how to code the proprietary TradingView coding language. And so I would absolutely love if we could now move into touching not so much into the basic features of TradingView, which I guess we are all accustomed with, how to draw supports, resistance, how to save templates, but more into, if you happen to be interested of moving towards this semi-automation, how can TradingView help us, and how does it compare to MT4? And if you really don't mind, perhaps you can just spend 30 seconds or 1 minute in explaining to the audience out there, how does it compare? MT4, which is the platform that we have all got used to, but at least for me personally, it feels like TradingView has outgrown MT4 in so many aspects. In terms of the advanced features and technology that it provides. So if you don't mind, give us a little bit of a comparison between the two, and then we can just perhaps share your screen and we could start touching on a few of these advanced features that you also spend a lot of time, diving into as part of your YouTube channel.
Yeah. Well, the first thing, I personally don't enjoy using MetaTrader just because I find the interface incredibly clunky.
Yeah, definitely.
It feels like using Windows 95 all over again or something.
It's like going into a time machine.
Interactive brokers is much worse, I think. But yeah, that's one thing. As a manual trader, for me, I struggle using MetaTrader compared to TradingView, which is just so intuitive and modern and sleek and responsive, and the fact it runs in your web browser. I travel a lot to visit my parents and friends, and just being able to jump on their computer and manage my trades is just amazing. And that's a great thing about you guys integrating with TradingView. It's a huge advantage for traders who obviously like to use TradingView. One catch, I guess, is that PineScript is not as powerful as MQL. So there were certain strategies that you'd be better off if you are a programmer and you're experienced with programming. You're much better off using MQL or Python or languages like that. I guess the biggest advantage of TradingView and PineScript is just how easy it is to use. Everything runs in your browser. You don't need to download any software. It's quick. It's simple. I believe pretty much anyone can learn it if they're interested enough. And I mean, if you've ever created an Excel formula, then you can learn how to code PineScript. But Yeah, the disadvantages or pros and cons of TradingView versus MQL or MetaTrader and other platforms is they're kind of sort of nuanced, and they only pop up when you encounter advanced challenges, which we can sort of go over later when I show you some of the scripts I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
could, yeah, we could actually just, if you don't mind, start sharing your screen, and we could be looking at these advanced features that TradingView provides. And let's just go through perhaps a 5 or 10-minute conversation where
Cool.
you're going to be explaining to the audience, and let's just treat the audience as if they are complete beginners in TradingView, but we want to just kind of like dive into the advanced features and tools that TradingView provides. And it'll be great if you can just kind of give us a bit of a walkthrough and perhaps what scripts you've been working on, and you know, the automation capabilities that TradingView has as well. And I know that there are a couple of services that one can connect to. One is AutoView, and the other one is Pine Connector.
Yes.
And I believe that Pine Connector comes at a better cost, and perhaps there are some other advantages that you could touch on. So yeah, it'll be great if we can just dive into it by you first sharing the screen, so it kind of becomes a bit more visual for everybody.
Yeah, I've actually moved over to using Pine Connector more in my trading lately than AutoView. I'll explain why as I demonstrate this stuff.
And I also, something that I noticed is that as Global Prime clients, if someone wants to tap into automation, I believe that at this point, Global Prime is not yet integrated with AutoView, but I suppose that nonetheless, anyone can start using Pine Connector, right? So there's no restrictions on that front.
I've actually set up an example here. We can do in a minute where I can show an example of a test alert that sets off a trade in Global Prime.
Take it away. Absolutely.
But this is an example of sort of what's possible with PineScript. Obviously, there's a billion examples out. There's thousands of scripts. That's another advantage of TradingView, or maybe it's a disadvantage if you get overwhelmed. But there's a lot of scripts out there, open source scripts that are free, public, that you can download and use, ranging from very simple to unnecessarily complex. I'm a trader, you know, so when I'm coding a script, I want the script to do basically the bare minimum I need in order to trade. So I try not to overcomplicate things and have a million things on my chart. And this is an example of a script. This is the script I use to trade pullbacks on usually the 4-hour time frame, sometimes a 1-hour time frame, and the daily time frame in the forex markets. This is a script I've been working on since I first began trading. This was one of the first profitable strategies I ever learned, was this pullback strategy, which Stephen Hart taught me in his course. And what you see here is the latest version of the script that I've coded, and it actually shows me. Let me get my pen up really quick. It shows me. That's not going to work. Oh, there we go. It shows me how many trades I've taken, my average risk reward per trade. By default, it's just set to a 1-to-1. So every dollar I risk, I make $1 when it wins. And you can see how many longs and shorts have won, and its overall win rate, its danger zone. So if the win rate gets below this zone, this is a break-even zone, basically, win rate. And then down here, you can see it simulates my starting capital, my max drawdown, my return. And all of this is done in PineScript. And I've back tested manually. I haven't done it actually on Global Prime's data yet, but when I initially coded this functionality into the script, I back tested it on the market, on my broker that I use, and it was 100% accurate. The results, according to the spreadsheet. Obviously, it doesn't account for slippage and sort of bad fills and that sort of thing. But the beauty of this sort of tool that I've created here is just the amount of time it saves me in the backtesting process. So I can just open up the markets here and I can cycle through them by just pressing space. I've got a test trade here open on Global Prime from yesterday that I'm just trying out your platform at the moment, and it's great. I really find it interesting. I love your guys' ethos and everything. I think it's amazing what you guys are doing. But yeah, if I cycle through these markets, you can see some markets aren't profitable, others are profitable. I can see that at a glance. And what that does is it allows me to, in a matter of minutes, cycle through all of these markets, flag which ones show promise, and then I go back and manually backtest them to confirm they work. And the amount of time that saves me in my backtesting process is phenomenal. Part of the reason I create tools like this is also because of my repetitive strain injury in my arm. If I spend too long backtesting and clicking, it can really flare up the pain in my arm. So this is one way to dramatically speed up and my backtesting process and make my testing more efficient.
So in the case of the Australian US dollar, it shows 48.97%, and that's been highlighted in red. So that would be perhaps a problematic market if you actually want to be starting to take positions, because it's proven that it might not have been as profitable.
Might not be profitable. Yeah, over the past 400 trades, which I think is back to 2018, if I remember correctly. TradingView has a limit on how much data you can load on the screen at once. So that can be an issue on intraday timeframes. The lower the time frame, the more that can be an issue.
And how long would it take for someone who does all the heavy lifting and goes through the course and is in a position to start coding for himself or for herself? Let's just think about something that would be basic, like let's just say the cross of moving averages, and then defining the percentage risk and so forth. What's the learning curve like?
Obviously depends on the complexity of what you're trying to do, but something like a moving average crossover, if you're brand new to programming and you've never written a line of code in your life, if you were to go through either my course on the subject or just spend a couple of weeks studying PineScript, there's a lot of free resources out there. You don't need to buy anything to learn it. The only advantage of buying a course is just to speed up the learning process. But it wouldn't take you very long. I mean, I can show you, I could write a moving average crossover script pretty easily.
This is obviously far from endorsing that a moving average is going to be working.
Of course,
it's obviously proven. It's obviously proven that I mean, based on many years of experience, a moving average crossover might work as long as the market conditions are in your favor, and that is something that you can continuously exploit. But might come a time when that completely stops working.
Exactly. I would not trade this, but this is just a good example of how easy it would be to do something like that. Here now I'm highlighting in red whenever the 50 EMA crosses over the 100 EMA. So if I add the EMA, obviously there's a million built-in indicators here in PineScript as well, which is another advantage of PineScript. Anything that you could find on MetaTrader other than custom built indicators will be here, as far as I know. But yeah, you can see if I change this to 100 period, you can see that whenever this 50 crosses over the 100, we're getting this red line on the chart, and that was done in literally 2 lines of code. Which in other languages would MetaTrader, I don't know how complex it would be. I'm not very experienced with MQL, but Python or something like that, it would be significantly more code than this. And that's the amazing thing about PineScript, is just how simple it is. And to turn this into generating signals and stops and targets, that would take a little while longer. But the power of PineScript is its simplicity. It's also its biggest weakness. Its biggest strength is its simplicity. Its biggest weakness is its simplicity.
And since you're very intimate with the technology of TradingView and with the coding language, do you think that over time, the coding language that is being used up until this point is going to find a way to continuously improve and bridge the gap that exists with other coding languages, MQL, Python, and so forth, to a point where we might be talking again in 3 to 5 years, and it's really narrowed significantly what you're capable of doing with PineScript?
I believe so. I've been in contact with the TradingView support team since I began coding. When I run into issues and stuff, and I've been following them for years, their blog and obviously, because I teach PineScript on YouTube and in my courses, whenever they release an update to PineScript, I need to track that. I need to learn that. I need to sometimes create new content on that if it's changed the way something works that I've taught in the past. And I have to say, over the past couple of years, PineScript has improved dramatically to what it was when I first started coding. Like even just a few months ago, you couldn't display info like this on your charts. That's a recent feature that they only added a couple of months ago. So I think in a couple of years' time, PineScript, there's certainly no reason not to learn PineScript, in the sense that it's going to improve in the future. So if there's something it can't do now, there's a good chance in the future you'll be able to, or you'll find a third-party service that you can bridge MetaTrader to PineScript to perform more advanced actions or whatever you need to do. So it's pretty remarkable, the progress of PineScript, and I think there's a bright future ahead for the language for sure.
What's the underlying reason why they came up with their own proprietary language as opposed to implementing others? Is it to do because of their market dominance, and perhaps they just wanted to take ownership of also the language that they're going to be applying? What's behind
I'm not
that?
sure, to be honest. I did read a while ago why they did it. I don't think it was for that reason. I think they just wanted a language that they had control over, to be able to
makes sense,
so that they could be in control of the features of the language, and make it very compatible with their back end, with their servers, with the way they've structured everything.
Yeah, it's a great point. Yeah. Like the moment that you're going to have to overly rely on a third party for you to actually keep improving the user experience, that is definitely going to slow down perhaps your growth and the satisfaction of those that you are looking to serve at the best of your abilities. So makes complete sense. Yeah. And obviously by now they have an absolute huge army of programmers and coders that are working, because
I'm sure they
how much they've erupted into the scene as the dominant or one of the dominant players. I mean, I started to use TradingView many years ago when it was still a very clunky website, and I felt the potential back then because of, again, at the back in the old days, people were already frustrated using MT4. So that's how long we've been interacting with MT4. And out of frustration, we just needed something that could actually, leave its mark. And TradingView has definitely proven
more modern.
Exactly. So let's just continue talking about all the possibilities that one has. Let's just say that you're a Global Prime client and you want to automate your signals, or you want to semi-automate your signals. What else can you touch on top of this script that you're showing us right here?
The first thing to mention is that there's not a lot of, well, maybe there are other services out there, but I haven't found them other than Pine Connector. But one service is this service here, Pine Connector, which I'll show you really quickly. You can send TradingView alerts, so you can create an alert based on any condition. It could be a price action condition, like it could be something as simple as price action crossing a certain price. That could send an alert to Pine Connector. For example, I like to use that to manage positions where I need to move my stop loss to break even. I can use just a simple alert to send that command to Pine Connector. You can also implement alerts into your actual script. So if I open up the source code to this script here, my ultimate pullback indicator, down the bottom here is a bunch of alert conditions. And throughout the script, I've set it up so that my script can send this data to Pine Connector, and I can input that info into the settings here. And basically whatever my script is doing, whenever it detects a setup, it will send an entry limit order to Pine Connector with my stops and my targets. And MetaTrader, the Global Prime MetaTrader platform, will receive that alert through the Pine Connector Expert Advisor, and then convert that data into trade information. So just really quickly, I'll show you an example I tested earlier. This is an alert, a really simple alert. First, let me go to the market it's set on. We're on euro dollar here on the 1 hour time frame. And this alert is going to send a sell or short command to euro dollar with a stop loss at $1.18. and a take profit at 1.17 and a risk of 0.01 lots or a mini lot.
Okay.
And if I set the condition to so that it will definitely fire, I've just set the condition to greater than 0. So as soon as this alert is received by TradingView, this message will fire to Pine Connector just as a test.
Mm-hmm.
If I click save here and open up Pine Connector, MetaTrader here, you can see that a order was just executed here with my stops and targets, stop loss, take profit. It just ended a short market order, 0.01 lots. And once you get proficient enough with PineScript, or you find a existing script that is already written, or you hire someone to write a script for you, you can include these alerts into the script so that you can basically fully automate systems using PineScript. It's just a little bit more difficult for advanced strategies than MQL, because obviously Pine Connector and a MetaTrader cannot talk back to TradingView, so it's a one-way communication.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So you can't like if your order got filled at a bad price and there was slippage, your script back on TradingView won't know that. So yeah, that can be an issue, but there's ways to mitigate that problem. There's pros and cons to everything. Obviously, the advantage of using PineScript to do something like this is just how easy it is. I mean, I could have a script written within an hour or two that could be sending automatic trade commands to MetaTrader, where in MQL, if I was really proficient in MQL, maybe I could do it in the same time, but I kind of doubt that just because of how quick it is to write PineScript.
Yeah. Let's just say that you're a manual trader and all you're interested in is essentially just moving your stop to break even. I suppose that the way you want to go about it is also by using Pine Connector, right? That would be through the script, that script fires the signal to execute that order. And that order would be just essentially, instead of you entering a position, would be just moving that stop loss to break even, which is a very common.
You can do that.
It's a very common practice, right? So once it goes to 1-to-1, if you're aiming for a 3-to-1 risk reward, you're moving to break even. These days, let's just say that you are a TradingView user, you would be rather restricted or limited in executing this order unless you are going to be tapping into something the likes of Pine Connector, correct?
Exactly. I mean, like you mentioned earlier, AutoView is currently not compatible with Global Prime, but if it were,
what does it take to be compatible, by the way? I mean,
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't know much. AutoView is primarily a crypto auto trading plugin. It's a Chrome browser plugin. I think I've got it here. I could open it up. It's a Chrome browser plugin that runs in your browser, and it actually listens for TradingView alerts to fire in your browser. And when they fire, it does actions depending on what commands you've sent it.
Right, but we could investigate into it. I mean,
it'd be worth looking into.
Yeah, I might have just an internet conversation and see what are the
depends on your back end, if you have an API that they can plug into, I guess. But yeah, but Pine Connector, I guess the disadvantage of using Pine Connector over AutoView is that you need to be using a MetaTrader trading account to execute your positions. I'm not sure if you've got a MetaTrader account on Global Prime. Can you log into that in TradingView?
No. Actually, the reason that we've been holding back for quite some time rolling out our service through TradingView is because first we had to obviously it takes quite some time, for TradingView internal team to approve and make sure that everything is running smoothly. But also we are connecting not through the trades taken in TradingView are connected back to our trade evolution platform as opposed to MT4.
Right.
But this is a great way to circumvent the limitations if you are not downloading and being a user of Trade Evolution. You still can trade through this new, alternative,
True,
and that is
That's
just taking trades or listening to the signals, listening to this alert, and connecting that through Pine Connector to your MT4. So that's actually quite handy.
Definitely. And obviously, you can fully automate systems through Global Prime and MetaTrader without that issue if you wanted to go the full automation route. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other things to mention. There's obviously a million things I could mention. I have a lot of content, free content on my YouTube channel. If people are interested in this and want to check it, really dive deep into this stuff. But we can go over some other things.
Your YouTube channel, for those listening, is like pretty much 3/4 or up to 90%, pretty much. It orbits around TradingView and all aspects. And each video really is it's lengthy in its nature, but it is very detailed. And I got to say that a big testament to you, and it speaks volumes to all the value that you're delivering, is that it is hard to come across videos where you literally have zero dislikes. And I went through quite a number of them, and it's like literally 3,000 to 5,000 views, 10,000 views. There's one where you actually give like the ultimate TradingView guide. It's got like, it blew up like 250,000 or so forth.
That's my biggest video.
Yeah, for sure. And that's
I actually got a message from the TradingView team about that.
Right.
I got a message from TradingView, and they just said, "Hey," and they I thought I was in trouble. I thought I was like getting called to the principal's office. I was like, what have I done?
Actually, you know, whenever you reach like 1 million subscribers on YouTube or something, they send you this like gold symbolic statue or something. Like whenever you reach like 250,000 views, and that refers back to TradingView, probably they should send you some type of symbolic present back to you.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
So like, I suppose that being a coder and tapping into your skills over time, that has incrementally helped you to approach the markets in a manner that is going to be very much conducive to how you want to live life in your own in your own terms. And I would actually emphasize that for those, and please correct me if you disapprove or you disagree with me, but I would say that we should not be stuck when thinking about coding, just wanting to place all the focus on being profitable overnight, but rather also think about the lifestyle that you envision and whether or not coding can help you bridge that kind of ideal future scenario.
It really can. It really can. That was a big motivating factor for me to learn this stuff in the beginning. It's also, I mean, because I'm a rules-based trader and I only trade, I'm an if-then trader. So I can't place a trade unless all the lights are green, you know? And so there can be days, there can be entire weeks where I don't get a trading setup that meets my rules. It's not common, but it can happen. And so on those days, instead of sitting at my computer staring at charts waiting, you know, I'm usually living life. I'm sitting by the pool, or I'm going out to lunch with my girlfriend, and if I get an alert, I can place the trade if I need to, and so it does free me to not be shackled to my computer and still be able to trade actively. In the beginning, when I first began trading, I used to trade the 15-minute time frame primarily. And it was a nightmare trying to stay on top of everything, even with alerts, you know. And I realized at some point that I wasn't happy with my lifestyle, having to babysit the charts so often. And some people enjoy that. I didn't, and that was a early experience for me to realize that what you want out of trading isn't just profitability, like you said. It's also a lifestyle. Same with business. You got to think about what kind of business you want to run. Trading's a business. You need to decide if you want it to consume your life and be everything you do, or if you want it to be something that you can do but still have a lifestyle where you can do other things as well, you know. Like,
sure. And many times what I endorse is that whenever it comes to trading and you want your journey to be one where longevity prevails, it really comes down to first and foremost looking from inside out as opposed to outside in. But many people are being driven by the profits that they can potentially make without first understanding the inner journey that it takes and the inner understanding of knowing thyself and knowing what aspects of trading you enjoy the most, what time frames. And once you can actually lay out all that very clearly, only then you start asking all the questions, and perhaps you might be leveraging off technology and tapping into the technology to make your life simpler. At the end of the day, whenever you can simplify things that technology could assist you with, that's when you start to really exploit and squeeze the potential of technology, as opposed to just being in an echo chamber thinking that technology is the one thing that will solve all the problems, as opposed to first decide how you like trading, how do you enjoy and have fun, and then technology perhaps can actually be the heavy lifter that does 75% of the job, and you just got to do that 25% left, which is very much resonating with all that you're laying out today here.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think that's the true purpose of technology, is
exactly
as a tool to reduce unnecessary labor. Really.
There you go. There you go.
In any field, trading is just one example of that for sure. It's a huge advantage to be able to code. Yeah.
And I suppose that this conversation is very helpful for those hopefully thousands that are going to be watching this combo of demystifying that, really looking for a system that either is semi-automated, hopefully semi-automated, unless you're really going to go through all the hard work that it takes, fully automating and stress testing it. It really serves the purpose of, first and foremost, removing that unnecessary human labor that technology can help us with. And that if you're actually going to see things through these lenses, it is much more encouraging for someone who wants to keep progressing in its efficiency ratio. If you think about efficiency ratio as the time that you spend in front of the screen unnecessarily, where you could just be by the side of the pool, or enjoying with your girlfriend, or hang out with your with your cat, which, by the way, I heard that you're a proud cat owner.
yeah, I've got 2 cats. Yeah, they keep me busy as well.
Yeah, in some of your YouTube videos, I overheard like the cat was like whinging by the window. He's like, sorry, I'm busy.
Yeah, that's a common thing. My girlfriend's actually got the cats out in the backyard at the moment, so they don't do that here. Yeah,
okay.
The cats, they can be a distraction.
Exactly.
When I'm creating content.
Yeah. So I think that that's pretty much cover most of what I wanted to ask. Do you have any parting words that you'd like to share with me today that we might have not touched? Let me know.
I mean, there's a lot of things I could say. I could talk all day about this sort of thing and trading in general. But I think you covered the core things relating to what we wanted to discuss today. One thing I would say is just a word of encouragement to the traders out there who are struggling is don't give up. Don't give up. If you're passionate about trading, and if you've watched this video to the end, then you clearly are. And if you haven't found profitability yet, or what works for you, it's only a matter of time. You just got to keep at it, keep working hard, stay self-aware, make sure to journal, make sure to track what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And you'll get there eventually. It's just a matter of finding what works for you. There's a million ways to be profitable, or thousands of ways to be profitable in the markets. You need to find what works for you, and that's different for everyone. That's something that I'm still exploring in my own trading, even after finding consistent profitability. So just stick in there, keep working, and it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. The journey is worth it. I'm so. A couple of years ago, I was pretty much at rock bottom, emotionally speaking, and now I love my life. I love my work. There's a funny quote. I've got a Twitter bot that tweets out inspirational quotes twice a day that I wrote, and I just plug in quotes I like. And it tweeted one the other day that I loved. It was a quote by Alan Watts. What did it say?
So the bot is essentially spitting out automatic quotes.
Yeah, it's a Twitter bot that I wrote that just I plug in quotes and it tweets them out just for daily inspiration. I created it for myself, to be honest, because I couldn't find anything like it. But this quote here is the one that I really loved here. No sensible person ever works. I never work. I get paid for playing. That was a quote by Alan Watts, and that really resonated with me because
And it resonates, and it comes down to having fun in doing what you're doing, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I used to work all kinds of crap jobs over the years, and I never thought that work could be fun. I thought jobs were work, but
you could also ask people. Yeah, you could also ask people, how much are you looking forward to your next Monday? And for those that hate their jobs,
I love Mondays.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you're a Monday lover, you probably are having fun doing what you're doing.
I love Mondays because I'm a huge Formula One fan, and that's usually the day I take the Monday morning off to watch the race from the previous night, and then I go out to lunch with my girlfriend, depending on whether Max Verstappen won or not, and then and I ease into the week that way. So that's another thing is when you work for yourself in any format or any form, but especially as a trader. Especially as an Australian trader, when the markets are dead on a Monday morning. Mondays aren't that bad. I just ease into the week, and I love my work, and so that's just a word of motivation and encouragement. If you're not enjoying your trading journey yet, or you're not enjoying your lifestyle yet, keep working at it because it's so worth it when you finally get to where you want to be.
Yeah. And just as a final note, you said before that you love the ethos of Global Prime, and
yes.
Really something that speaks loud and clear about how transparent we want to be and how much how much desire we have to flip the industry on its head. We do have a Discord room, and anyone can actually interact with our Discord, and we got the whole team, founders, co-founders, myself, and other traders that they can actually criticize, they can, kind of share critique with us if they so want, but it's everything out there for the public eye to see, as opposed to being in, behind closed doors and then having restrictions in how they're going to be communicating with the team. So everything is out there. And I think that also is a very innovative and very, is kind of like the next step, the next level in radical transparency between the brokerage firm and the customers. If they have any complaint, please voice that concern in the public. And I think that over time, that obviously builds a lot more trust because nothing gets to be hidden. Everything is out there in the public.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. I said that to my girlfriend, I think yesterday. I saw the Discord channel. I think I joined it, and I noticed that all the founders and everyone was in there. I showed her, I said, this is incredible. Like you never see this.
Yeah. And it's been a very organic growth.
It's great. Yeah. I love the transparency of Global Prime. I think I'll be exploring your services.
Feel free to come and join the fun. Join the madhouse.
Yeah, you guys seem like a lot of fun. I think it's great. Yeah, really down to earth and transparent, and that is very rare in this industry, especially for retail traders.
I'm always thinking about ecology. Many people are promoting out there the global warming, and I get it. Like, people want to protect and save the earth, but when it comes to financial markets, there are also entities out there that are promoting ecology in a different manner. But us in the financial industry terms, we really want to be bridging that gap in something that would be unthinkable, right? Like a brokerage that becomes so sincere and it's approachable. Approachable.
It's definitely revolutionary. That's for sure.
That's why. And here's one of the stats, and I will be wrapping things up with that. The majority of employees that Global Prime has, they were previous clients of ours. We do not go out there and hire people. Those that were clients become our next customer service, our next coder, our next programmer. So you see, it's like
that's great. Very organic, very grassroots kind of like. I love that.
There you go.
I love that. I think that's incredibly rare, if not unheard of, in the industry. I've never heard of it.
Let's hope that we can keep it up for another 10
I hope so.
plus years. That's how long we've been around, making the right type of noises. So Matt, thank you so much for today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much.
And I hope that the audience really enjoys every single minute of this conversation.
I hope so too. This is my first interview I've ever done. So if
perfect.
It sucks, I
won't be the last
for that. Probably not. Hopefully not.
All right.
Well, thank you very much, Ivan.
Thank you.
And Global Prime and all the clients that watched. Thank you guys.
Thank
you. Good luck with your trading, everyone. Take care.
Cheers.